I'm going to show you exactly how Bitcoin could hit $1 million this year, what that would mean for altcoins and the crazy altcoin season we would see. Lots of bullish stuff, so hit the like button and let's get into it. All right, so first off, price of Bitcoin creeping back up here over the last few days. And is this potentially the start of our next leg up? We're going to talk about that in a moment. But first, let's just get straight to the point. Let's talk about how Bitcoin gets to $1 million this year. So first off, you probably heard about this. They want to do an audit of Fort Knox to see if the gold is there. And I think we all know the gold's not there. But here, I'll play this little clip, a 10-second clip of Trump talking about this.
But one of the things we do want to look, we hope everything's fine with Fort Knox, but we're going to go to Fort Knox, the fabled Fort Knox, to make sure the gold is there.
Where would the gold have gone? Brought up.
If the gold isn't there, we're going to be very upset. We're going to go.
So, I wish I could go with him. Sounds pretty exciting. But, yeah, we'll see if the gold's there. I think we all know the gold's not going to be there. No way to know for sure, of course, but probably not there. It hasn't been audited since 1974, so that's 51 years ago. So, yeah, the gold's probably not there. So, if they do the audit of Fort Knox and the gold's not there, they're gonna, like Trump said, they're gonna be very angry. But what are they gonna do about it? Well, they're gonna think, okay, obviously gold is not the best reserve asset because it's very difficult to audit, and you obviously can't trust if it's even there because it's difficult to audit. And so they're going to think, well, what would be a better reserve asset? And the answer is pretty obvious. It's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is, not only is it more scarce, but it's very easy to audit. Anybody can audit Bitcoin anytime, 24/7. So super easy to audit, more scarce. It's the obvious choice, a way better reserve asset. And so Trump in the U.S., they're going to go, okay, so obviously the U.S. doesn't actually have much gold. China and Russia have a lot more gold than the U.S., maybe, unless they're lying too. But what they don't have yet is Bitcoin, and so the U.S. would probably start buying as much Bitcoin as we possibly could before anybody else does, which would cause China, Russia, and other countries to also start buying as much as they can, and you'd basically have a global arms race for Bitcoin, which could easily send the price up to $1 million, which would put Bitcoin roughly at the same market cap that gold's at right now. So if all the countries start having an arms race for Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin would be very easy. So is this going to happen? I have no idea. There's no way to know. Only time will tell. But this is one possible timeline, and maybe we're on that timeline. So we'll see what happens. But every week, it just seems like more and more bullish stuff keeps coming out for crypto. And I know it's maybe disappointing that the price isn't reflecting it, but count it as a blessing. It's giving us more time to accumulate before the inevitable happens. So that brings me to this, which is a post CZ made. You can buy Bitcoin after the U.S. government is done buying or before. There's no other choice. So it's a good point. I think it's inevitable the U.S. government and many governments, probably all of them, are going to start buying Bitcoin. So you can either buy it before countries start buying, or you can buy after. Answer's pretty obvious. Obviously, you want to buy it before. So right now, people think 100,000 Bitcoin, wow, that's so high. But when you think about what the price is going to be in the future, 100,000 Bitcoin is incredibly cheap. It's going to go well above $1 million over the next few decades for sure. So obviously you want to buy as much Bitcoin as you can right now. And this year is probably going to be one of the biggest years for crypto. So that's a pretty crazy possibilities unfolding right now. And so if Bitcoin let's say Bitcoin goes to $1 million, imagine what altcoins would do. The altcoin season would be insane. You would see, okay, so Bitcoin market cap would be about 20 trillion. So you would probably see multiple altcoins going above $1 trillion market cap as well. So just imagine the insane gains you would see, because Ethereum's only at a couple 100 billion market cap, and then everything else is like 100 billion or less. So you would see a lot of coins doing insane gains. So the altcoin season would be absolutely incredible. And speaking of altcoin season, Trump just bought more altcoins, or rather his organization World Liberty Finance did. They just bought Say, $125,000 worth of Say. So that's pretty bullish for Say. Hopefully you were holding some of that. I think it got a nice little pump off that, but that's bodes well for the rest of the year for Say, potentially. And hey, if Trump's organization, World Liberty 5, they're buying altcoins, you can bet there's going to be a big altcoin season. I mean, why would they be putting millions and millions of dollars into altcoins if altcoins are done? So, altcoins are wrecked right now. They're taking advantage of that and buying the dip. That's also what I'm doing. And also, you've probably heard of this too. This is insanely bullish, big news. Doge wants to do a Doge dividend, potentially up to $5,000 per American taxpayer. So that would be sweet. This isn't confirmed yet, but this is what they want to do. And if we all end up getting a $5,000 check, then that's gonna put a lot of liquidity into the market and into retail's hands. And you know what retail likes to buy is altcoins. So that'd be a huge potential catalyst to kick off a massive altcoin season. So like I said, more and more bullish things keep happening every week. So I think a huge altcoin season is just inevitable. And I know it feels bad right now, but I talked about this in a few videos back. I'll go over it real briefly again. Altcoins are down bad right now, but if we look back to last cycle, so the altcoin season started in January of 2021, last cycle. Okay, right before that, from August to December, I'm using Solana as an example of one of the altcoins. Okay, Solana went down about 75% from August to December, and this was right before the altcoin season. So at this time, everybody was angry, just like they are now, saying, "Oh, altcoins are dead. No altcoin season this time." And then what happened right after that? Oop, huge pump. This is just nothing now, and it went even higher and even higher. So, and now this is just a flat line. So it ended up doing a 200x from there. So people who bought that dip and bought the pain, just like we're feeling now, if you were buying Solana at that time, you made a 200x off that. So that's the kind of opportunity we're seeing right now in the market. So that's why I just continue to dollar cost average, and I know it's it's hard to buy when stuff seems like it just keeps going down forever, but I think a huge altcoin season is coming. So let's talk about what the market's likely to do here in the next few weeks. When are we going to see the altcoin season? So Bitcoin creeping back up, and I won't get too excited yet because we do have resistance right ahead of us at $100,000. And so you can't really get bullish right now, because what can you expect at resistance? You can expect resistance, obviously. So that's what I would expect. And we'll most likely we'll get rejected. But if we can break above $100,000, then I think it becomes very likely at that point that we would see new all-time highs soon after that. So we'll see what happens, but I think a more likely scenario is we get rejected, we come right back down. Probably not what you want to hear, but I think it's more likely we'll come back down again, and this time I think we're going to see a fake out dip here to just really make people lose their minds, and I think we're going to see it go down to maybe 87,000. So it looks like we're breaking this support. Everyone will think, oh, we're breaking support. We're going back down to 70. And so we'll come down here, liquidate all the longs. Everybody will open up short positions. But it'll be a fake out. We'll just come right back up. All the short positions will also get liquidated. And now that everybody is completely wrecked, we would start our next leg up, because that's what the market loves to do. So yeah, I mean, if we see a dip down to 87,000, people are gonna completely lose their minds. It's already been extremely painful for a lot of people, and at that point, I feel like so many people would just be like, all right, that's it, it's over, and just completely quit and give up on crypto. So that's what the market likes to do before doing the next big legs up. So the people who can stay in there and stick through the pain, and especially the ones who buy up the pain, are going to be the ones that make the insane gains. So I know it doesn't feel like it right now, but because of how bad it's been the last month or so, no, it doesn't feel like it right now. But the bull run we're going to see this year is going to be absolutely massive. Bitcoin is going to go way higher. The altcoin season is going to be the biggest altcoin season we've ever seen, and we're all going to make insane amounts of money. We're all going to be rich by the end of this year. So, by the end of this year, your boss is going to tell you to go do something, and you're going to say, I quit. And so it's going to be a good time. So hit the like button if you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, and check out the video popping up right now. It's even better than this one, and I'll see you over there.